I'll be reading to you from our guide to the creatures in your neighbourhood, and I'll be speaking to you about the Urban Field Naturalist Guide to the Deadly Australian Animals, should you ever go outside again. Look, Australia's biodiversity is celebrated globally for its beauty and distinctiveness, but rather inconveniently, we've also got the reputation for being home to some of the deadliest animals in the world. Their reputation is sometimes well-earned, but it's created an aura of danger and mystique around our native fauna. So just how dangerous are Australian animals? I mean, how much of their deadly reputation is myth and how much is reality? Why do people get killed by these extraordinary animals? Are some animals unfairly profiled? How well do we estimate the risks they pose should you go outside again? Look, a quick look at the usual suspects in discussions of Australia's deadly wildlife can be really helpful. Among other things, it shows that it's worth learning how we can live with some of our more misunderstood groups. And speaking of going off script, we're back to coming to the choose your own adventure part. We can talk about crocodiles, spiders, or snakes. Who's got a preference? Okay, we're starting with spiders. Now, I believe I'm on the clock for this, so I need to be very careful. Never mind. There is a hierarchy in our Urban Field Naturalist Project. Spiders. Look, the most important thing to know about most of our Australian spiders, most of them won't bite people, and nearly all of those that can bite people won't kill you. Right? That's a really good thing. The less good thing is that some of them do. Right? The Sydney funnel web is probably the classic one, so it's only a problem really if you're living in Sydney, I guess. So that's something to think about. And one of the things that's fascinating about it is it does kill people. It's got some fatalities attached to it. One of the really funny things about it is that it only kills people as a bit of an evolutionary accident. Its venom's developed to actually subdue invertebrate prey, but in a really unlucky quirk of fate, it also kills primates. So you don't have to worry about most of our other native animals. They're not fussed about it. But our Sydney funnel web is probably one of the ones you do need to be a little bit careful about. We certainly can talk about. I'm sorry. One of the nice little factoids is that their fangs are actually longer than the fangs on a brown snake, which hopefully we'll be able to get to afterwards as well. The other thing is, I think we might let you guys guess what this one's going to be, actually. This is a bit of a trick to this. Kangaroo. Yeah. One of the beauties of biology sometimes is the people that are naming things get it right. This does what it says in the box. This is a redback spider. Now, with the funnel webs, it's the males roaming around that can kill people. In the redback world, it's the female who's many, many times bigger than the male that will go around and killing people. So the male is seen as being a little bit useless in many ways. It's just there to provide thing. And the female is the one that you may wish to work on. So look, basically, golden rule with these guys, though, is best not to play with many of them, but if you do get bitten, go to a hospital. Nobody's died since 1981 from a spider bite, so you should be pretty safe, okay? So spiders, yeah, they can kill you, but maybe they won't. Right, so that was sort of spiders. Would you like to hear crocs or snakes? Snakes, I mean, you've probably all seen the lists of Australian snakes being in the top 10 deadly snakes in the world. There's a lot of great lists out there that actually point out that we have some of the most venomous animals in the world. You couple that with the fact that snake bite and the deaths associated with it is a global health crisis. Hundreds of thousands of people die from snake bite every year. We're living in the continent with the most deadly snakes. You'd be going, oh, gee, that might be a problem. But the body count we have is a shambles. Hardly anyone is killed by snakes in Australia every year. Overwhelmingly, if you get medical help after being bitten, you're going to survive. So in the case of our snakes, they aren't really pulling the weight. The marketing far outweighs the performance. The reason for this is that our snakes, the most dangerous family in the world, the vipers, don't exist on this continent. Most of our dangerous snakes belong to a group called the elapids. If you go to their Wikipedia page, you'll realise that, and for those of you that are easily amused, they have permanently erect fangs at front of mouth. So if you like saying permanently erect in front of undergraduates, they're the group for you. They also do that classic threat posture. They've got these long, straight fangs at the front. They're a front fang snake, so they like to rear up on their back so they can strike you. Essentially, we're talking about a whole bunch of things here with their tiny fangs, as Zoe's pointed out. Not that it's an issue. The glottis. You'll have to buy the book to work out what the glottis is. There is a really excellent glossary in this that's available in all good bookstores from today. A quick segue to crocodiles. Final group. We don't need to have a vote, do we? What do we need to know? There's two species, the salties, the saltwater estuarine crocodiles, and the freshwater crocodiles. It's the saltwater ones that kill you. They're really neat in terms of they're apex predators. They actually see you as food, right? This isn't one of those unlucky accidents like shark bites often are. This is where they go, yeah, you look like something I could eat. You're big enough, catchable. Yeah, so there's a golden rule of how to avoid crocodile attack is try not to look like food and don't swim where they are. If you've been to the top end, you'll realise the Crocwise models are all about trying to encourage behavioural change. And it might surprise you when you realise what the profile of the average person killed by a crocodile is. And this is a tragedy for a really important demographic. Middle-aged white men who are local and overconfident are typically the people that get killed. And I would like to go on the record saying this is one of the great threats for Anthony Albanese. He needs to address this problem. We are in trouble, us. So look, I mean, that's basically, we've done spiders, crocodiles and snakes. Oh, sorry, did we? Yeah. What I'd like to do is, what animals do kill people in Australia? This is a real letdown. This is a great way to let you all down. It's bees and horses. Now, these animals might seem like an odd addition to the list of deadly Australian animals, but the numbers, coroner's reports tell a different story. Put simply, if your death is caused by an interaction with an animal, most likely culprit's a horse. Most of them happen on public roads or on farms. Horses, cows and dogs are pretty much the most frequently involved characters. Most of them involve getting hit, running into them with your car or getting trampled by them or falling off them, or with dogs having them biting you or tripping over them. Look, the other surprising one's the honeybee. It turns out that the body count associated with honey producers, these beautiful pollinating insects who we rely on for food security, because of the anaphylactic shock caused by people who are allergic to them, earns them a place on the list. So it's a really nice reminder of the possible risks of being outside and just to take care wherever you are. But when it comes to Australia's native animals... Yes, she can have a cowboy hat. Just remembering, of course, that the workers are all female. So, as a finale, can it kill you? Yeah. Will it kill you? Well, it's very, very unlikely. Do you need to be careful? Yep. Should it stop you from going outside and looking at the world around you? No. Thank you.